Hello and welcome to News 6. Today's show features the 6th grade class of Defiance St. John's. With our first story, here's Steve Frederick.
There is one man who works very hard for both St. John's and St. Michael's Parish. He is Father Tom. To show how much we care for him, the two parishes went together to help buy him a new car. While he was on vacation, we had a bake sale to raise money for the car. We made over $300 to help pay for the new Pontiac Phoenix. We took a Friday off of school to work on the decorations and to prepare a surprise party for him. The students made banners, cards, and other decorations for the party that was held at the KSC Hall in Defiance. It was a big success. We are very proud of our parishes and Father Tom. Our school has a special classroom outside the school called the mobile unit. Students who have trouble understanding a certain subject can get special attention. Math and reading are the subjects that are taught here by the teachers, Mrs. Cash. For example, if someone doesn't understand fractions, they go to the mobile unit where Mrs. Cash reteaches the fractions to them. By doing this, the class can move on to other things. There are as many as 40 students helped each week in math. The mobile unit also helps students with reading. There are 8 full-time reading students and 4 part-time students. These students work in the regular reading text, but also use listening tapes, games, records, and crossword puzzles, and many other activities to improve their reading skills. Next is Mark Freilich with more from our school.
The World of Science was displayed last week at St. John's School. That was when we had our science fair. The 5th through 8th grades took part in the fair. As many displays were set up in the church basement for people to see. All the classes made up a class project, while many other students also brought in displays. Everyone worked hard in putting the science fair together, and it was a fun event at our school. Students at St. John's School not only enjoy reading a newspaper, we also enjoy putting one together. Our school developed a newspaper called the Panther Press. All of the articles are written and produced by the students, and everyone has a choice of what they want to write about. The Panther Press includes interviews with teachers, stories about news happenings in our school, and also poems and puzzles. The students even drew pictures for the newspaper to give it a really neat appearance. With more stories about Defiance St. John, here's Adie Bat.
Mardi Gras might have been postponed in New Orleans, but it took place in Defiance at the St. John's Mardi Gras. The purpose of the event was to raise money for the church fund and to pay teachers' expenses. The money was also used to help buy new equipment for our school. There were many booths at the Mardi Gras, as well as refreshment stands. Games were also part of the fun. One of the games was called Put on a Slappy Face. This is a game where you pay $1 to get your face painted like a clown. Most of the people who attended our Mardi Gras didn't really need a clown face to show how much fun they were having, because they were wearing smiles most of the time. Defiance is a nice place to live, and it is also a city that is looking to grow. The job of Chamber of Commerce is to keep it growing and to look for new ways to improve our city. News 6 reporter Cindy Freilich talked to Mr. Ed Hanks, who is the president of the Chamber of Commerce.
In the Chamber of Commerce, what exactly do you do?
Well, my problem right here is to try to get voluntary people to work. In other words, I'm only the manager here. See, and I'm hired and paid for to do a job. So our big problem is to try and get volunteers throughout the entire community to come in and do the work for us. In other words, we have bankers, and we have doctors, and we have attorneys, we have teachers, we have young people, we have older people, like senior citizens, you know, and we have all kinds of people who have special expertise to do the kind of work that we want. So in other words, if they have a special profession or a special trade, then we ask them to come in and give us the benefit of their knowledge.
How do you promote Defiance?
Well, basically, one of the ways we promote Defiance is with this real pretty booklet that I have here. It's called Defiance, Think Defiance Now. And this is a book that we have made up about every 3 years. Pardon me. And it's paid for by the advertisers in the community. Now, all these people pay a certain amount of money to have their businesses advertised in this real pretty booklet. We have about 6,000 of these books printed, and they last us about 3 years. So that means we get rid of about 2,000 a year. So when we get a request from, say, like a business or a company, and they say, well, we think we might want to move into Defiance. We might want to build a plant here or a building or a commercial store. Well, then we'll send them one of these with a lot of other statistical data from the community. See, so I think that this one here is a real pretty way to show off our community.
Now back to Lisa Schaefer with our final story about the new addition to the Defiance Sheriff's Department.
The Defiance Sheriff's Department added a new staff member this month. He is a German Shepherd named Shannon. This 4-year-old dog is used for a number of purposes. One thing Shannon does is to track people down by a sense of smell. He can also sniff out narcotics. As a matter of fact, the first day on the job, Shannon traced down 2 bags of marijuana. Another of Shannon's jobs is to attack a person if need be. He does this on certain commands given to him by his master. Shannon stays with one of the officers at his home. Needless to say, Shannon would be a pretty good watchdog to have around the house. Thank you for watching News 6. Today's show was brought to you by the 6th grade class of Mrs. Marie Tesey. Next week, News 6 will feature the 6th grade class of Mill Creek West Unity Elementary. Have a great week.